but it's one of the things that works in a consulting. For instance, how much does your, Mark, how much does your service cost?
So typically we start out with a week's worth of clothes, a mini, what we call a mini wardrobe. It's roughly about $3,500. How does that sound?
A week's worth of clothing?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's in the range. Okay. Boom. Very good. Actually, being that you're in the right price range, let me soften this up for you. By the way, this could be, if we do nothing else, this could be the thing that changes your entire career. Just this, because if I say, you know what, that's way too much. I was hoping to spend like $1,500. You have a decision to then make. You have a decision to make whether or not it's worthwhile to work with me, or you walk away or make a suggestion for somewhere else, but you are not going to spend time with me because I don't have one of the three biggest things you need. To have a customer, you need three things. You need a desire. Write these down. You need a desire or a want to have that product. You need decision-making ability, means you're the person who's going to make a decision. And if you're not, you need to have that group in there, or if it's a group, you have to be in front of them. And third, you need to have the money. Any one of those things are missing, you're not in a sales situation. You are not to give up the ship. You don't give them any information. You're done with them. Oh, you can give them advice to go to somebody else. But right there, you could either decide to end it or move on. But that's a good price range, so I'm going to soften this up for you a little bit, okay? There's a few trial closes, and make sense? Sound good? How's that sound? Fair enough? Am I on the right track? Are we together? Got it? Does that make sense? All those things are just little, and they know anytime someone asks a question of you, you've earned the right to close. And that close is just a simple thing. Does that make sense? Are we on the same page? So for your thing, Mark, I would use this one. This will look really well. So for what I think you're looking to do, a week's worth of clothes would probably be a great package for you. That package is $3,500. Let me ask you, Mark, was that more or less than you expected it? And that puts the ball right in your court, and it eases tension. Listen to how much it's, Mark, ask me how much it cost.
How much does it cost?
Hey, thanks for asking. For the package that I think would be best for you, which is a week's worth of clothing, it's and it'll get you where you want to go. It's $3,500. Tension, 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 tension. The thing I'm trying to get out to you is that asking for the order or getting to that next step is not, you're not being a jerk for doing it. You're actually relieving the tension in the room. The other person wants that gas. It's like you want to get to the, never be afraid of the close. The biggest challenge I have when training people is they don't want to close. They don't want to get to that point. Well, it's a relief valve. You're taking pressure off. It's just like saying it's okay to say no to me. You're taking the pressure off. All right, so I want you to do that. So practice those types of closes. When you're given the price number, is that more or less than you thought it would be? I think, it's a little more than I thought it would be. Okay, now you can move on. Great. Well, what were you, in all honesty, and I know I'm just approaching now, but what did you hope to pay for something like this? And then they tell you their budget. Now that you have their budget, you have desire, you have decision-making ability, and you have a budget, you get to decide whether or not you want to do business with them. If I came to you and said, really, I was hoping to spend about $1,500 or $2,000 at the most, is there anything you could work with me with that?
I can put something together for you.
Okay, see, you just made a sale. Just like that. Not by selling me, but by allowing me to buy. So your message is really important. Getting to what they want, which is very good for you. So if I got to you, Mike, and we talked about that, actually, let me pay with James because he's probably prepared with it. So James, so what do you do?
Please call me Jim.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading it. You're right. So Jimbo, what do you do?
I put good people into bad jobs.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I would finish that off. You can get the same laugh out of it. I put good people into bad jobs. Do you know anybody like that? You know, and now you put the ball in my court. Now I have to answer and take away the tension. Those little questions are so important. Okay, so let's do that again because I love it. So Jim, what do you do?
I put good people into bad jobs. Do you know anybody like that?
It's big smile. Big smile. Good. When you smile, you're forcing me to smile back at you. Okay, great. Actually, I do. And now I'm going to ask the question that you guys hope to get. And this is the question. How do you do that? You've just entered the sales situation. All right? When I say, how do you do that? You got to be prepared for that. We probably don't have the time for that right now. But that's the purpose of going to your network meetings. That's the purpose of introducing yourself to other people. Be, firm with your message and get them to the point where you can ask a question that they say, how do you do that? Once they say, how do you do that? Then, Mark just gave me the pitch. Then Mark just said to me, oh, well, what I do is let me ask you, or you said, let me ask you a quick question. When you walk into a room, what would you like to be said about you without you saying a word? That's beautiful, by the way, Mark. You should be disqualifying people all day long. If you disqualify 10 people a day with that same pitch, how would you like to look in the morning? How would you like to look by not saying, oh, I'd like to be the center of attention. So let's finish that. So I'd like to be the center of attention. What would you say next?
Great, I can help you do that.
Okay, well, how do you do that? And boom, and now we're in a sales call, just like that. If you could create 10 of those a day, buy yourself a wheelbarrow. You got two, you won't be able to bring the money to the bank fast enough. Don, now you do turnarounds for companies.
Yes.
All right, so the businesses that you're looking for, they generally come to you. You don't go to them.
Yeah, generally it's word of mouth. It's either private equity firms, it's investors, it's the boards. It's, and again, nobody starts off the career saying, I want to be a turnaround guy. I start off doing a lot of strategy and being a typical executive. But, as you get a few gray hairs, you walk into one broken company, you fix it. People say, hey, I've got another one over here.
Good. I know. I think it's great. Are you keeping busy now? Are you looking for more clients?
I'm looking for more clients.
Look, okay. So here's the basic things of sales. Talk to more people. Talk to more people. Now you can talk to a lot of people by making a quick. I love your little pitch. I love that. Generally when you do this long enough, but that needs to be a video. And then you say private equity companies, for crying out loud. How many private equity companies are out there right now? They're always looking for another turnaround guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if you can help me. I know you got turnaround people right now. Just want to see if I can get my information out to you and get on your vendor list in case you have that issue in the future. How's that sound? Oh, that sounds great. Great. What's your email? Boom, boom, boom. Now you're starting your marketing. Now you start dealing with Richard Kirby. Now, by the way, looking for a job is the same thing as looking for business. Just remember, in every conversation, a transaction is taking place. And so after you have that conversation, they're going to think whether or not they want to do for you. Make sure that your social media and your marketing stuff is congruent to what you're saying right there. Any other questions? I feel like I'm rambling. I want to make sure I'm going in the right direction.
So Dan, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
If somebody says to you, tell me more about that, how do you do that? How do you feel about saying, well, that's a great question. Would you like to get together for coffee? Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. And now my personality is I want to take it to the personal very quickly. And so now you got to do what's with your personality and how you do it. And you relate to people very well. So I'm not sorry. I'm looking down because you're so, I would say to them, I appreciate that, and I'd love to talk to you about it. But let me ask you this: are you saying that just because you're a nice guy? Are you saying that just because you want to be nice, or do you really think you'd want to do something here? And I'm going to get them to because if you are, I'd love to sit down with you, talk about what you're looking for, your wardrobe, and get you the perfect thing. By the way, is it okay if we haven't done it? Is it okay if we talk about money now? We're role playing. Go ahead. Is it okay if we talk about money now?
Sure.
Okay, great. By the way, it's an easy thing just to get. Generally, if people are looking for like a 1-week package, that most people start with, it's about $3,500. I don't even know if that's in your ballpark right now, but is that something you'd be comfortable working with? And if not, it's okay.
No, that sounds very comfortable.
Okay, great. And so now well, in that case, absolutely. Let's set up an appointment. I'll make you'll look like $1 million, and you'll earn that much too. How's Wednesday at 3? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Ask for the appointment. But what I just said to you, and did it sound pretty natural?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it's because I've said it 3 million times. In front of the mirror, in the shower, all the time. You can wake me up in the middle of the night and say how much it cost. And I'd say, oh, thanks so much for asking. Listen, or you can wake up in the middle of the night and say, oh, you know what, that's too much. I'll say, great, I totally understand. Listen, if I were you, I'd say the same thing. But let me ask you this. What did you expect to pay for something like this? I mean, it's just going to come right out. And in the whole consulting world, Jim, the whole consulting world, how much money do you earn companies?
Well, it's obviously a multiple of what they pay me.
Yeah, but it's like a 10 times multiple.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's stupid. You charge whatever you want. It's dumb. If they say, hey, listen, if I'm going to earn, in a turnaround company, how much is it worth to you to save your company? How many millions is it worth to you?
Dan?
Yeah. Yes.
Question. So are you familiar with the spin selling technique? I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that one. And that's something that I was trained on early on, where you get the prospect to define the value of the problem and then say, look, you tell me you've got a $4 million problem. What's in your budget? If I can convince you I can take care of that $4 million problem next year, what's it worth to you? So they're setting their own value proposition.
On different levels, on the higher, big time companies, maybe the companies you're dealing with, that's perfect. But for the average consultant or someone looking for a job right now, it's much more effective for you to work in packages. I got a $3,500 package. I got a $10,000 a month package. I got a $20,000 a month package. Just like people could just get their arms around it because they want to know how much they're going to spend. And if you guys want to help me out, I got a book, Sales Proverbs, Wisdom of the Ages. Go to Amazon, amazon.com for Sales Proverbs. It's a great book. It's not how to sell, because you all know how to do that. It's how to live a great salesperson's life. Don, how many years you've been married, Don?
46.
That's right. That's not because now there's a great salesman. 46 years. But
no, I simply know which is a superior sex, and I argue how inferior men are.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm married, I guess, 25, and still consider that woman of mine my best sale. But yeah, absolutely. I want to hook up with you. And guys, let's, if you're not linked in with me already, please do so. And that's it. I think you're awesome. I hope this was helpful.
Thank you. Big hand for Don, or Dan, I'm sorry.
Very good, Dan.
Great job.
Appreciate it, Dan.